Hey guys, welcome back. This is Eileen.
And Judy.
We're here to talk to you about the next generation standards, and today we're going to look at the introduction to early learning. This is a philosophical shift, so it's important that you pay attention to the introductions.
Okay, so the task of the early learning standards are to provide everyone with a shared idea of what, or an understanding of what young children can learn with our support.
So they really wanted to look at what was best for all children. These are developmentally appropriate expectations that embrace the child's multiple identities and abilities.
So there's a goal of the standards, and this is for all children. The outcomes described in these standards are meant for all children, regardless of their circumstances. They're not solely for the well-prepared or the precocious child, but for what all children can achieve through personalized instruction.
So what do these early learning standards represent? Well, it's a collective agreement of the age-appropriate instructional goals for young kids. The standards should not limit the children, rather they're our foundation or our basis for the kid's lifetime, across their lifetime.
So what are the expectations of the educator? Well, the focus is on all of the students. We're going to demonstrate knowledge of a child development and real and age-related practices. So that's really important for the younger grades. Understand that learning in one area will influence another area of study, and to create opportunities for children to develop positive relationships with their peers. So actually, talking and relating to their classmates.
They want to design age-appropriate experiences that gratify a kid's natural curiosity. And this last one's huge. They now are understanding and recognizing the importance of play in promoting learning. So it's great to see that they want the kids to go back to being able to play again at a young age. And here's a great quote by Mr. Rogers. It says, "Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning, but for children, play is serious learning."
So the importance of play. Well, teachers need to provide self-directed play activities that allow children to examine, experiment, practice, and advance their skills within the standards. So the play should incorporate the standards. Passive approaches such as seat work, worksheets, scripted learning, and rote learning directly go in opposition to the play-based learning. And that is a really important shift. Play is the highest form of research.
So what are the expectations of the educator for students with disabilities? Well, they have the same expectations as everyone else. So this is nothing new for us here at Minisync. They want us to rely on developmentally appropriate practices to meet the standards for our kids with disabilities as well as our regular ed kids. They want us to provide additional services, supports, and accommodations on an IEP that emphasize the whole child. And they want us to enable children with disabilities to grow and learn along with their peers. We've already been doing this here at Minisync, like we said. Just keep focusing on developmentally appropriate domains such as physical well-being and social emotional functioning.
So more expectations for the educator with the English language learners, the multi-language learners, and other diverse populations. So the dynamics of the school is changing. It is projected by 2030 that 40% of school-age population will be speaking a language other than English at home. And speaking English is not a precondition needed to meet the standards. So they can demonstrate mastery of the skills outlined in the standards bilingually or in their native language. And they are really expecting teachers to have intentional and strategic use of the home language in the bilingual classroom as well as in the English language classroom.
Educators are responsible for creating opportunities to engage with family members and to support child learning. And on top of this, they want us to create a condition in where children can meet the standards and schools are respecting students' heritage. I think, at Minisync, again, we've been doing that piece already. So I think we're in really good shape with following along with these.
So those are what the state expects for early learning education. And we're going to end with this one quote that we feel is pretty important. So,
be the one who encourages them to wonder why.
Create a space where they have what they need to be successful.
Schedule time to allow them to experience that moment
when they figure out for themselves how it all works. Thanks a lot, guys. This is the end of part 2.
We'll be back with the next part. Have a good one.
I think that's a